From the Sunny Bono Wildlife Refuge, we'll go back to the east side, and I'm going to show you around the Salton Sea State Park, where I spent a lot of time. There are 4 campgrounds within the Salton Sea Recreation Area, and they're spread out over 14 miles. What I considered the main campground was at the visitor center. That's it, on the other side of the lagoon. Visitor center has your normal stuff. There's bathrooms. They show you a little movie if you ask them. There are artifacts, and they give you a little history. And outside on the grounds, they have a model of a native home. Notice all the palm. There's also a camp store, which is really handy because the closest town is 10 miles away. This was a very nice campground, and I stayed 2 nights. They had pavilions and a picnic table and a fire pit, flushing toilets and showers you had to get a token for. And when I pulled in the first day, the campground was deserted, which is my favorite kind of campground. But by the end of the night, 3 other people had camped right around me. They had a small trail that went off the campground that identified some of the birds and shrubbery and things like that. And although not part of the trail, there is a pavilion in which you can just walk out on the beach. Of course, there's barnacles everywhere, and some of them have clustered together and formed really interesting figures. I saw one of these things fly over twice. And have I mentioned the train that goes by many, many times a day? It runs right down next to the highway, and you hear it no matter what campground you're in. I stayed in 3 out of the 4 campgrounds. I didn't go to the other hookup one, but I spent most of my time here at Corvina Beach. Okay, this is still part of the California State Park system, but this is considered their primitive camping area. We're going to drive down through here. I'm scouting out camping spots because I'm going to be here for a while, but this place I'm in is too expensive. So it's $8 to camp down here. Table of some sort, and they're quite spacious. So this is a possibility for tomorrow. Look how much room there is between this guy. This is actually, though, considered dispersed camping, so people can camp anywhere. They're not restricted to where the picnic tables are. So sometimes they just pulled up right behind you. They have pit toilets, they have 3 buildings, and they have shelters if you really needed one. I never think to mention this, but all state and federal campgrounds have reserved for handicapped folks, and they're almost always open. I thought that was the bathroom. It's a shower. I spent a week here, and I just love this campground. Such a beautiful view. And every day there was a pelican or 2 that would float by. And every single night, a beautiful sunset. The first couple of nights, I was almost there by myself, but then after a while I got busy, so I moved on down to the next campground. This is the last of the state park campgrounds. It's Salt Creek Campground. Apparently it's really primitive. They don't even have a sign up on the highway. Let's go down and see what this looks like. $10, but $2 discount for seniors. And they have... it's a little more primitive. Porta potties were all they had. They had several. and one garbage can here and there, but it was, for a while, deserted. But after 10 days paying for campgrounds, I thought I'd better look around for some boondocking spots. This is Nylund Drive, or Nylund Marine Drive or something. Anyway, it used to be a park. I don't know if it flooded out like Bombay and it's gone, but anyway, it looks like slabs. I went all the way down to where that building is and turned, and it got pretty sandy. These people, I don't know if they're squatters or they've got a whole little homestead up there. They're on road. Road is bumpy, but it is, cement or whatever. Rocks, huh? Old time road. But once you get down there, it's soft. The way to Dos Palmas is directly across the street from the visitor center. You go down a dirt road that turns to a sand road that turns to a gravel road, and then comes to an end. This was during the shutdown, but these gates are always locked. There is a little parking lot there. There are pit toilets. They weren't open at the time. And there are 2 hiking trails. I planned to do both of them the same day, but I ran out of time. Because you got to walk down this road another mile to get to this. And then there's another sign that says, go this way. So I did. And you wander through this weird path. I really have no idea why I just walked down that path. Maybe there's something here. It's not at all what I thought, but we're going to continue. Okay, this is what awaits at the end. A big duck pond. Let's go see if we can see anything different. This pond was filled with coots, American coots, and I had never seen one before. They were so much fun to watch. This was a preserve. It was a fish hatchery. So there's lots of little ponds all around them. So these paths just go on, and you wander around. There's no signs or anything. I wasn't really sure if I was seeing what I was supposed to see. Okay, that was a much longer adventure than I thought. I walked all the way down there, and then all the way across there, and some of that back there. I walked, and I walked, and I walked, and there were some ponds here and there were some ducks that flew away. And I walked and walked and walked and walked and walked and walked, and 3 hours later, I was done. I was really tired. I was there all by myself. It was starting to get dark, so I never hit the second trail and came back another day. Just for you, so I could show you the San Andreas Springs. The other day, I was down here, and I went down to Dos Palmas, which was a long walk. And at the end, I looked up some YouTubes and some blogs, and everybody said, well, the gate was locked, but I found this wonderful other one. But they still call it Dos Palmas. Anyway, here's the San Andreas Trail. It's shorter, it's flat, it's less than a mile, comes out a little bit above the parking lot here. This is the BLM land parking lot. Oh, it didn't really take long to get to a really cool part. Look at this. It's like a tropical jungle. There's a bridge up here. Wow. Looks like a tropical storm hit here. Look at that. I thought the path was cut off, but no, there's a little way around. Really, there's a lot of destruction. You can certainly see how and why the native peoples made houses out of these. You know, the roof, thatched the roof with them. There's a perfect example right there. And it doesn't look much different than that. There's a nice smell here. It's not a rotting smell, it's a earthy smell. Okay, so that was a little odd. I know I've heard people rave about this. There's no water here. At least I don't see no pools of water like down in Dos Palmas and a lot of other places. So now we went through all that, and here's the trail. They say, okay, go back that way. Funny. But I'd looked at the forecast and it said it was going to rain, and then it said it wasn't. So there's a dirt and sand road to get back here, about 5 miles total. And I said, I looked today and it was not going to rain. I said, I'll go back there. So if it does end up raining, look, it's nice and clear over there. If it does, I guess I'll just stay a day or two. But I'm the only one out here. But look, there's somebody. Oh, hell, that's me. I was gonna say, there's somebody here. Yes, Sue. That's me. Okay, the campground host, Mike, gave me some great information. And one of those is, and one of the reasons I came back, is at the top of this hill on the left is what he described as BLM land. And that you can camp there. His instructions for me were, when you get up to the top of that hill, coming back from the parking lot, it's on the left. It's a big flat, right on top of the plateau. So you see right here. All this area. I'll try to show you. And there's nobody here. Okay, so this part, you can't camp back here. You see what that asshole did? Of course. I could see where people would want, I guess you could park here. My bobblehead. But not there. Beyond there. Anyway, I'm going over close to the road. Only I didn't get close to the road. I went out a little bit further, and I was there about an hour when the caretaker came by to tell me it was starting to rain, and it was raining hard, and I should get the hell out before I'm there for a week. And then I panicked. What I thought was the road in front of me was actually a big ditch, and I went down in it, and I tried everything and couldn't get out. So I called a tow truck, and 2.5 hours later, they had me out. So when you hear me talking about not going down sandy roads, that's why. And my boondocking days were done. Between Nylund and Bombay Beach, there's a bunch of hot springs, so I went to check it out and ended up staying at this one, the Fountain of Youth. It was beautiful, but it was so crowded. There were hundreds of people just squooshed in here. Ugh. So we've seen a lot of the east side and some of the south side. In the next video, I'm going to wrap it up and we'll do the west and a little bit on the north of the Salton Sea. Hope you're enjoying this series on the Salton Sea. It's a quick glimpse, but what an unusual place. Subscribe below and leave me a comment, and thank you so much for watching.